So welcome everybody to the Hala Legionov in Kielce. I'm Andy Clark. I'm bringing you coverage of Ring B. My colleague Ronald McIntosh is over in Ring A, and here's a schedule for Ring B. We start off with the men's flyweight division, 52 kilos. First up, we have Ruben Garboyan of Armenia up against Ali Zhamanov of Azerbaijan. This day two of the 2021 IEBA Youth Men's and Women's World Championships. And the flyweight segue into the light welters just for one fight. And then we go into the heavyweights. So some real good action to get stuck into over the course of the next 2.5, 3 hours. Had a good opening day yesterday, opening ceremony, and then the first session. Had the parade of flags. Just over 50 countries have been able to make it to Kielce. 414 fighters. And it's just great to see such an array of talent. You get to see the next generation, the best fighters in the world, coming through. And it's an absolute pleasure. Polish Boxing Association deserve a lot of credit for managing to get this organised, get this arranged, as do IEBA. Of course, as everybody knows, we're operating under very difficult conditions. Elite sport globally is facing all kinds of challenges, but to get everybody over here in this COVID-secure environment is extraordinary, really.
Ring B, 52 kilograms. Please welcome into the red corner from Armenia, Ruben Garboyan.
So that's Ruben Garboyan just emerging from the doorway there, walking down to his left towards Ring B. 2 rings in operation, and that will be the case until we get to the semi-final stages.
From Azerbaijan, Ali Zhamanov.
And for Azerbaijan, it will be Ali Zhamanov. And whoever wins this fight, they've got a Thai fighter in Danakon Ayonyim awaiting them in the next round. Fights coming thick and fast in the prelim stages. Had a quick wander out backstage earlier on, probably about an hour and a half before boxing started. There's still a good few fighters out there just warming up, staying loose. It's a constant hive of activity, this arena, and it will be over the next 10 days. Of course, fighters weighing in constantly in IEBA competition as well to keep that weight off.
3 Latvia, 4 Ireland, and 5 Bulgaria. The referee from Korea, Kim Yong-in.
Kielce in the south-central region of Poland, about 120 kilometers or so south of Warsaw. And everybody divided up and accommodated in a number of different hotels. Ours, myself and Ronald, we're in a kind of out-of-season spa hotel. Everywhere's out of season at the minute, right next to a massive lake. It's great, really, really good setting. Snowing this morning. The weather hasn't turned out to be quite what I was led to believe it would be when I looked at the forecast last week, but it matters not because we're here for the boxing and not for anything else. So the judges from Slovakia, Poland, Latvia, Ireland and Bulgaria. Men's flyweight division, 52 kilos, 10 men's weight divisions in operation, 49, 52, 56, 60, 64, 69, 75, 81, 91 and 91 plus. Kim Jong-jin of Korea in charge of these two. So in the red corner, we've got Ruben Garboyan, and in the blue corner, Ali
Seconds
Zamanov.
out. Round 1.
So Garboyan in the red in that orthodox stance. Zamanov of Azerbaijan shaping up as a southpaw. Holds his hands quite low. Garboyan has got those gloves up more in the kind of traditional position that you would expect to find him. He looks like he's got nice feet here, Zamanov. He's good and balanced. Spreads them quite wide actually, but just manages to spring in and out nice and comfortably. And he'll look to try and close that distance, get in, throw punches, then take those feet back out again. Raiding missions, I would say. Gets in there, looking to throw the left hand, but was just a little bit cramped for room. Referee just having a word about a touch of holding there, maybe. There didn't really seem to be any time for him to have done any holding at that point, to be honest. Left hand to the body there from Zamanov. As I said, that's what he's looking to do. Get in with those feet, throw a couple of punches, get back out. Fencing with the jab there. Zamanov, Garboyan launching a big right hand over the top, a left hand over the top there from Zamanov too. And they're mixing this up, these two. Every now and again, they're looking for a real big shot left of the body there from Zamanov. He got caught with a right as he was closing in himself. Right hand from Garboyan, but there wasn't really too much on it. Throws that left, that southpaw left, quick Zamanov. There's a good example of the nice balance that he's got there. He's just inching back out of range. Series of small movements with both feet. The feet always exactly the same distance apart. It's like he's got a kind of rope tied between them. Where one goes, the other one follows. That takes a lot of drilling. Right hand there from Garboyan. I think just hit the gloves mainly. Left to the body there from Zamanov. Decent right hand there from Garboyan towards the end of the round, but then just got caught as he was trying to push Zamanov back onto the ropes. Good work off the ropes there from Zamanov. He did have an opportunity to counter there, maybe. Didn't quite take it as he just stepped away to his left-hand side, and then the 1-2 fell short. The left hand got through that time. It's a good fight, this. Zamanov maybe just coming in with his head a little bit low there. Final few seconds of round 1. Garboyan of the two is a little bit more deliberate, slightly more robotic. Zamanov is fluid. Dips in with the left hand there, but just get caught as he looked to try and open out himself there again, Zamanov. And he was trying to be quite expansive towards the end of the round there, but there was a couple of good shots coming back there from Garboyan. Well, they're the judges' scores at the end of round 1. 3 of them going 10-9 for Zamanov, 2 going 10-9 for Garboyan. I'd have gone Zamanov myself there, not by much, but I would have gone Zamanov. He's got a kind of better look for the judges, Zamanov. He looks good and proactive, the way he moves those feet in, out, keeps that upper body on the move. Throws quite eye-catching kind of shots. That shouldn't really matter, but it can get in the heads of judges quite easily when you've got a tight round and you're looking to try and find a winner, which you must do, even if it's by the barest of 10-9 margins. Then that kind of aesthetic can play a part. Shoelaces untied there. Zamanov. Judging for AIBA officials is about interpreting dominance. That's what the ringside judges are looking for, and it's left entirely to their discretion as to how they assess that. You can get knockdowns, of course, you can get standing counts as well, but unlike professional boxing where they will result in a point being deducted from the opponent who suffered it, that doesn't happen in AIBA boxing, and it's a good system because sometimes you can get a flash knockdown which doesn't really mean anything, and in pro boxing that will see the fighter win the round 10-8, a lot of the time quite unjustifiably. But you could get knocked down in AIBA boxing and still win the round, That is very much a possibility because they're just looking for that balance. They're looking for who on the balance of the 3 minutes has done the better punching, the cleaner punching. Just off balance there, Zamanov. He's got a nice jab when he uses it there. And again, just pulls the feet back as Garboyan was trying to land the jab himself. Leading off with a hook there, Zamanov. Garboyan's, he's compact, he's organised, he keeps it quite tight, he doesn't really give you much, and Zamanov is always looking and just complaining there that Garboyan's kind of pushing down on the back of his head, and I think he's maybe finding this a little bit frustrating possibly as we head towards the midway stage of the contest. Garboyan's not flashy, like I said, but his basics are pretty good. Short with the jab there, Zamanov looking to try and close in. Got a bit square there, Garboyan. He's looking for the right hand. That's no knockdown. He was caught by the kind of forearm there, really, as he sprang in, Zamanov. Nice 1-2 there from Garboyan. Zamanov answering back. Good left hand from Zamanov. That's more like it. Really took his feet into range there, which he doesn't always do. He didn't there when he threw that left hand, that wide left hand. He's not really close enough, and he kind of smears with it. Good exchange on the inside there for both of them. He's pulling off that left hand, Zamanov, a lot of the time when he throws it, because he's almost thinking about getting back out before he's even really delivered it. Short left hand there from Garboyan. It's understandable, because ideally what you want to do is land your own punches and get away before your opponent can reply, but that's not always going to be possible. Final 30 seconds of round 2. Left to the body there from Zamanov. Good jab from Zamanov as well. Garboyan's right was caught on the gloves. Nice left hand, just stepping away to his left there, Zamanov, but a left just kind of snuck through there too from Garboyan, who tries to trap him back on the ropes, and that was a pretty tight round again. Just bouncing on the balls of his feet there as he takes a seat over in the opposite corner, Zamanov, and just wonder whether he's got a slight issue with his boots possibly. Just sucking the breath in. Of the two, he looks like he's expended more energy than Garboyan, as I just look across to the ring on that right-hand side. All 5 judges there have gone with Zamanov, so he's in good shape now. He's got a 2-point lead with 3 out of those 5 judges. The other 2 judges have got it level, so Garboyan's going to need a big round here, a real big round, with at least one of those 3 judges who've got him 2 points behind to turn it around. He's got to win this final round, which will then see him get a victory with the judge at the top and the judge at the bottom, and he's got to turn one of those 2018s around. That's the big task. Turning one of them around is going to be difficult. So Ruben Garboyan of Armenia in the red, Ali Shamanov of Azerbaijan in the blue, and Shamanov, as we know from the scores, is ahead on 3 cards by a 2-point margin, level on the other 2, so he's got this one under control here. Good right hand counter there from Garboyan. He threw the left hand there, Zamanov, missed with it, and stayed exactly where he was. And he came back with the right hand there, Garboyan. He's had a good start to the round here. First minute of round 3. Left hand from Garboyan landed. Not totally sure if that would find favour with the judges or not. It was maybe delivered with the inside of the glove a bit. Straight right there from Garboyan. Just inching closer with his feet there, Garboyan. Nice jab. He's having a decent round here. the Armenian, but as we know, he's facing a fairly serious deficit. Again, the laces come undone. Just gives both fighters a chance to have a little bit of a breather. Good left hand there from Zamenhof. And he's looking aggressive now as we head in towards the final minute. Shut down his own space a little bit there, got slightly too close, grabbed hold of Garboy, and the referee just having a word about the heads and holding. You'll see IUBA referees give very kind of basic instructions, really. Use a lot of gestures to make sure that the fighters are absolutely clear with what they're saying to them. They won't look to get involved any more than they absolutely have to. Good feet there from Zamenhof. He does move well, but he could do maybe with slowing those feet down a touch when he's punching himself. That was interesting. Came completely square and then kind of shot out a lead left hand almost. Garboy just trying to rough him up on the ropes a bit there. Well, his boots come undone again here, and this is getting a bit ridiculous, to be honest. They need to take care of that. He's got very, very long laces, which I don't think is really helping. Well, they both end up stumbling into the ropes. Zamenhof came forward off the back of a 1-2, lost his balance. Ooh, a point has been taken from Zamenhof there. That's interesting. That could be interesting. Right at the very end of the fight, right at the very, very end of the fight, that point has been taken. Just a reminder, it was level on 2 judges' scorecards going into that final round. Zamenhof had a 2-point advantage on 3 scorecards going into that final round. Now, there's no way that the Garboyan has won that final round 10-8, but if the judges decide that he has won that round, the 2 cards that were tied would then find in his favour. And for the 3 who've got Zamenhof 2 points ahead, if one of them decides that he's won that round and then there's the point off, then they'll have to give their opinion as to who has won the fight. So this is, that point off right at the end there, that has really put the cat amongst the pigeons here, or at least it could have done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision from blue corner, Ali Zamenhof, Azerbaijan.
Well, Zamenhof gets it by split decision. So 2 cards level there on 28-28. The other 3 have gone 29-27. And they all scored that final round 10-9 for Zamenhof, which meant that he was home and clear. If Garboyan had got the nod with some of those scores and with the point off, then it could have been interesting, but we've got a winner by split decision, and it is Ali Zamenhof of Azerbaijan. He goes through to face Danakon Ayonyaim of Thailand in the next round. He looks a good fighter, Zamenhof. Like I said, he's got really good feet, gets in and out nicely. Good balance. But maybe just needs to slow things down a little bit when it comes to his own punching. Just commit slightly more and sit down on those punches just a bit more. It's something you hear in pro boxing more than you do in AIBA boxing. But as I said at the start of the fight, a lot of the time he's almost looking to pull back out before he's even thrown. Sometimes, not always.
Bout number 35 in the ring B, 52 kilograms. Please into the red corner from Belarus, Młodzieżowe, Samalewski.
So coming out there for this next fight in the men's flyweight division, boxing out of the red corner, we have got Władysław Smalewski of Belarus.
His opponent, please to the blue corner from Russia, Yevgeny Zorov.
Yevgeny Zorov of Russia coming out in the blue corner. Saw him loosening up backstage a while ago when I had a look. About an hour and a half, as I said, before the start of the boxing. There were quite a lot of the Russian team in there. Alexander Kamadov of Uzbekistan will be our referee, standing in the neutral corner right above me. And goes the gum shield there for Smalewski of Belarus. And through the ropes comes Yevgeny Zorov. He looks a pretty big flyweight, Zorov.
Round 2.
And the judges in the ring B, 1 Azerbaijan, 2 Israel, 3 Sri Lanka, 4 Mongolia, 5 Jordan. And the referee from Uzbekistan, Alexander.
Just having a bit of fun and games with the head guard there, the Russian coach. They've got to try and make sure they've got that adjusted exactly right. Head guards came off, of course, for the senior men just before the World Championships in Kazakhstan in 2013. That was one change. Another change was a switch to the 10-point must, which is the system that these judges will be using to score this fight.
Seconds out.
He's still not quite happy with the head guard there, Zorov. It looks okay
Round
now.
1.
So into the first, is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, of course. In the men's flyweight division, we've got Władysław Smalewski of Belarus in the red and Yevgeny Zorov of Russia in the blue. Zorov trying to get onto the front foot here, just inching forward, applying that front foot pressure. Right hand there from Smalewski, little bit laboured. Right to the body from Zorov. Just short with the jab there, Smalewski. Right hand from Smalewski, but he came over the top of it with a left there, Zorov, and then again through the left hand. Double jab. Zorov allows him to close the gap. The second one got through, then used his feet nicely just to pull back out of range. Counter left there from Smalewski. Looking for that big left hand. He's always looking for that left hand, Zorov. Got different kinds of styles here between these two, and again, he's got a problem with the head guard here, Zorov. He's not totally happy with the way it's sitting. And I don't think it's quite tight enough. I think that's the problem. I don't think the chin strap is tight enough for him, and you can probably feel it shifting around on his head slightly, which is not at all what you want. He's come out full of intent here. He's in with an opponent in Smalewski, who looks technically pretty sound, and it's Zorov who's looking to be the more expansive of these two, really. both of them boxing out of the orthodox stance. Got caught there, Smoluski. Wandered in a little bit behind his right hand, and Zorov picked him off with the counter. Got the gloves up now, Zorov. He's carried those low at times. Throws the right hand, but he was cramped for space. Smoluski just dipping to his right hand side. Did get caught by the right hand, but rode it pretty well. It's a good technical battle between these two. Nice combination on the inside there from Smoluski. Zorov looking to come back with a big single shot. Didn't really get through, and he's having a good finish to the round here, Smoluski. Putting his punches together nicely. Just working, always working. Zorov, of these two, can tend to look for the big single shots a bit. Right hand landed there for Smoluski, but he got caught with a right by Zorov as well. And Zorov just scoring to the body there. Nice right hand on the inside, and he landed another one there, Smoluski. Interesting round that, because in the first half of it, the way they shaped up, you would have said that Zorov looked the more aggressive of the two. He was looking for openings. He was very, very proactive on the front foot there, and he's got it 10-9 with all three judges. Now, I wouldn't necessarily argue with that, but I think Smoluski definitely had his moments there towards the end of the round, and he needs to try and carry that into the next round as best he can.
Seconds out, please.
That left hand that landed there from Zorov, that's a good example of a punch that the judges might not credit too much, because it did land slightly with the inside of the glove, and what they're looking for is punches delivered with the knuckle part of the glove to the scoring area, which is the kind of the front side of the head and the torso. Just dipping down and looking for the right hand, and again he's just kind of looking to adjust that head guard, Zorov, and he's obviously still not quite happy with it, which is not going to help him. It's just something that can get into your head, and it's an extra concern that you really don't need. It's difficult to work out exactly how that has happened, because these are standard issue. Everybody's wearing the same kit, so you would have thought you would have figured this out over the course of the last few days and found one, or found a way of putting it on that suited you. Long right hand there from Zorov. No real room to work there. The referee just to work things out themselves rather than stepping in and breaking them apart. Midway point of this contest, halfway through round two. Vladislav Smoluski of Belarus in the red, Evgeny Zorov of Russia in the blue. This is the men's flyweight division, day two of the 2021 AIBA Youth World Championships, men and women, here in Kielce in Poland. Fell short with a couple there, Zorov. Smoluski couldn't quite make him pay for it. He's trying to be proactive here, Smoluski. He'll have known that he's dropped that first round. The coaching staff in each corner, they have access to those scores. They come up on the big screen anyway, but they've got a monitor in their corner, so they're well aware of what's going on in terms of the scoring, and so Smoluski will know that he needs this round. Short left hand to the body there from Zorov. Looking to launch into a big left hand there, Smoluski. Didn't land it. Good combination there from Zorov. Not much left on them by the time they landed, but land they did. Bell goes at the end of the round, and as I mentioned, that's a round that Smoluski very much needed, and he hasn't got it. So it's 10-9s all across the board there to Evgeny Zorov, who now has a 20 points to 18 lead with all 5 judges. So what he will need to do is he will need to turn 3 of those scores around by scoring a 10-8 in this final round. If he scores a 10-8, then of course that would leave the score at 28-28. In which case, then the judges who've returned those scores would have to just decide one way or the other.
Seconds out, please.
Who they feel has won the fight.
Third round.
You don't get that scenario occurring all that often, I have to say. And he knows this, Smoluski, that he's got to go looking for Zorov, which may give Zorov some good opportunities. Smoluski with a couple of swings there, a couple of misses. Zorov has taken his feet back out of range. Wasn't in a position to launch any counters. No, that looked okay to me. The left hand was pretty much bang on the belt line, maybe towards the top half of the belt line. Good upper body movement there from Zorov. He fell short with the right hand, and Smoluski came back with a combination, but he was alive to it. Again, dipping low at the waist there, Zorov. Just hitting around the back there slightly, Zorov. That's what the referee is indicating there. It's the final minute. Nice left hand on the inside there from Zorov, just shoveling that left uppercut up the centre. I'm not sure how clean it landed, but it was a well-executed punch anyway. Zorov happy enough just to tie Smoluski up in that situation. He's got this in the bag now. There's no way that he's dropping this round 10-8 unless something extraordinary happens in the conclusion of it. And the winner of this fight will face the winner of the fight we will see directly after this. Smoluski just shrugging Zorov off there, trying to look for a big finish. He knows that he's behind here, and there goes the bell. Third and final round comes to a conclusion, and that is going to be a win for the blue corner and for the Russian fighter, Evgeny Zorov. He was 20 points to 18 up on all 5 judges' scorecards through the first 2 rounds. They might want to have a little bit of a play with that head guard before we next see him in action.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Evgeny Zorov, Russia.
So as expected, Zorov gets it, and he has swept that one every round. 10-9s in rounds 1, 2, and 3 with all 5 judges, so 30 points to 27 across the board, and he takes his place in the next round, where he will meet the winner of our next fight, actually, which is between Laszlo Banath of Hungary and Jakub Kobiet of Poland. They're next in the ring. No seeding in the AIBA Youth Men's and Women's World Championships, just a reminder of that. So when the draw was done on Monday by the computer, some people got a bye into the second round, other people didn't. Pure chance. It's a good left hand there from Zorov. Catching Smolusky with the right hand as he came in there.
Bout number 36 in the ring B, 52 kilograms. Please into the red corner from Hungary, Laszlo Bernat.
So making his way into the red corner here, representing Hungary, Laszlo Bernat. It's another bout in the men's flyweight division. 28 fighters in the flyweight draw.
And his opponent in the blue corner, from Poland, Jakub Kobiet.
And Jakub Kobiet of Poland.
And the judges of this bout: 1, Guatemala; 2, Latvia; 3, Bulgaria; 4, Turkey; and 5, Russia. The referee from Mongolia, Gunblood Badrak.
Banath, as mentioned, representing Hungary. And one of their most famous sons is in attendance this week, because AIBA appointed Istvan Kovac, Koko Kovac, the Secretary General of AIBA, earlier in the year. 2-time World Amateur Champion, 2-time European Amateur Champion, Olympic gold medalist in 1996, went on to become a professional World Champion as well, and great to see him involved, somebody who knows the sport inside out, back to front, knows exactly what athletes need. Always good to have somebody with that kind of knowledge and experience on the inside of any organisation. So here we go into the start of round 1. Laszlo Banath of Hungary in the red, Kobiet of Poland in the blue. Kobiet looking aggressive here. I think he's got a slight problem with his head guard there, maybe, Banath. That's not the first time we've seen that, or maybe it's just the way he holds his gloves when he's taken the guard position, and he just drops down to a knee there, Kobiet, and, well, he's got an issue with his. It's not quite tight enough. Okay, well, they seem to have sorted that out. He made an aggressive start there, Kobiet. Looking for a right hand there, though, Banath. Kind of came over the top with that one. A nice combination on the inside from Krzyzewski, just finished on the uppercut. Good quick start from both of these two. In Banath, you've got the fighter with the longer levers. He's got a definite reach advantage there. Not much of a height advantage, but a real reach advantage. You can see he's got long, long arms. And he can try and keep this on the outside if he wants to, if he's so inclined. Krzyzewski needs to get closer. And does just that there. Left hand to the body. Right hand came in from Banath, but it was kind of around the top of the head. Took his feet back there, Banath, as Krzyzewski was closing in and had the opportunity to counter as he was pushed back to the ropes. Didn't quite take it, but that's what he will be looking to do because he knows that Krzyzewski has got to move in and move in quick. He's got to close that gap rapidly so he can get into the kind of distance where he can let his hands go. Look at that right hand come out there from Banath. It didn't land, but you just get an idea of the kind of telescopic arms he's got to an extent. Sometimes you look at a fighter and you look at their arms just drop down by their side, and it's a common thing because having those long arms is something that suits you as a fighter. Lovely jab there from Banath, and that just caught Krzyzewski as he was on his way and completely offset him, and he had to take a step back and start again. And Banath really should be doing more of that, looking to do more of that, because he's got that distance, and if he could just hit Krzyzewski with that jab, it doesn't have to be clean to the head, it can be anywhere, shoulder, chest, anywhere, then it's just going to take that balance away and make him start again. Did it again there. There was nothing really on that, but it doesn't really matter. It just stops him. Jab again there from Banath. I think he's realised that really is the potential shot for him. Just dipping his head a bit there, Krzyzewski, as he was trying to make his way in. Left hand there from Banath, who's been more dominant as the round has gone on, I would say. He's done a lot of good work here, Krzyzewski. He's had some success, certainly. Looking for the big right hand at the end of the round there. Banath didn't quite land it. And Krzyzewski has got it with four out of the 5 judges there. He was aggressive. He was always looking to come forward. He threw plenty. Most of it I didn't feel really got through, but the work rate was certainly there. The 10-9 comes from the Guatemalan judge, Pastor Emerson, who goes in favour of Laszlo Banath. It was a close round. I felt that the better clean punching was probably done by Laszlo Banath, but it was a difficult one. It was a difficult one to call. But he's got his nose in front there, the Polish youngster. And Banath has got to get on the jab more. He's got to get on the jab more and use that reach that he's got.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
Jab to the body there from Banath, and again goes upstairs, and you just see the head snap back there of Krzyzewski, who's just touching with his lead hand. Right to the body there from Banath. Looking for that left to the body there, Krzyzewski. Didn't quite land it, but good jab, just as Banath was looking to open out himself. Good fight this, nice right hand on the inside there. There's a real sense of urgency about these two. Banath, particularly in this second round, just trying to cuff Krzyzewski with that right. Straight right, followed by the left from Banath. Right to the body from Banath, who isn't giving Krzyzewski much space to breathe in this second round so far. Holding those gloves low now, relying on the reflexes, shoots that right hand through straight, but Krzyzewski manages to elude that one. Referee deciding to break the fighters there. They were already about 2 or 3 yards apart. Left hand there as he moved away to his left from Kobiet. And good jab. He throws a good jab every now and again, just as Banath is looking to try and open out. And he's maybe just slowed down a bit here as we enter the final minute of round 2, Banath, because he put plenty into the first couple of minutes. He's turning southpaw, and Kobiet just having a bit of joy here. Gets up tight, throws a couple to the body. Big single shot there from Banath. Looks to try and work on the inside. Most of that was blocked by Kobiet. Kobiet then just looks to try and walk him back to the ropes, and they both end up squaring off, having a word with each other. The referee has got in there and I think did issue the instruction to break. Bit messy in the final stages of the round. Left hand there got through. Kobiet was just knocked back onto his heels, and he gets pulled back into the corner there by Banath, and Kobiet did just kind of pin his arm as well. The referee needs to get hold of this a bit, really, because he's not really making himself all that clear at times as to whether he wants the fighters to break or whether he doesn't. And you can sense that confusion at times. So that's the end of the second round, and the scoring of this second round will be absolutely critical. He looks young, doesn't he? Really does look young. So Banath has got it with all 5 judges in that second round. So he's got a 2-point gap with Pastor Emerson. With the other 4 judges, it is level. So now what this comes down to is this final round. It comes down to this final round. He's got 1 in the bag there, Banath. That one, top of your screen. He's got that one in the bag. He's got that one under control. So he needs 2 more out of these 4 scorecards to go his way in the final round. And that will be enough. Kobiet needs 3 out of those 4. So we should see an entertaining final round here, that's for sure. Into the third and final round. Laszlo Banath of Hungary in the red. Jakub Kobiet of Poland in the blue. Nice left hand there, just dabbed out by Kobiet as he managed to move Banath back towards the ropes. Banath looking to try and get on the jab, and this may well come down to conditioning, to fitness. I did get the sense that Banath was maybe just tiring a bit towards the end of the second round. Kobiet, again, just walking him back to the ropes. Banath just trying to manhandle him a bit and turn him towards that red corner. 17 to 19, the age bracket for the Youth Championships. And when you look at these two, Banath is physically a lot more mature, you would say, than Kobiet. So the Pole has given a real good account of himself here. That was round the back of the head, that right hand from Banath, but he wasn't completely at fault because Kobiet had pirouetted slightly. Heading up towards the midway point of this crucial, absolutely crucial third and final round, and Kobiet just asked by the referee to keep his head up. Every now and again, the Polish fighter just looks like he's kind of stopping of his own accord. A right hand there from Banath, and he's looking for the referee sometimes to get involved. Good jab there again from Banath, short right hand. Crashed through as well. And he's just outworking Kobiet in this final round so far, the Hungarian. Remember, he needs 2 out of those 4 level cards. He needs to win it with 2 of those judges this final round, and he's home and dry. And Kobiet just backing off a little bit. He's feeling the pace now, I think. Banath switched southpaw there briefly, just shaking out those hands. Just needs to keep pumping the jab here, really, Banath, but just stood stock still. Good right hand from Banath as Kobiet just dipped his head and looked to try and come forward. caught him on the break there. The referee, I think, had issued the instruction to break, and he just threw in that right hand. He apologised for it immediately. Into the last final stretch of the fight here, the remaining 20 seconds, and Banath is heading towards a win here. You would say that he's winning this final round. Krzysztof, as I said before, this is a top effort by him, because he's in with somebody here who, as I said, he's got a serious advantages on him here physically. The bell goes at the end of the third and final round, and Banath is pretty confident there, I would say. Just a reminder that going into that final round, he was 2 points up with one judge, and it was level with the other 4. And Evgeny Zorov of Russia awaits the winner of this fight in the next round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of bout 36 by unanimous decision, from the red corner, Laszlo Bernat, Hungary.
So Banath gets it. He makes his way through, and all 4 of those judges there went his way in the final round. All 5 in total, but the Guatemalan judge at the top already had him out of sight, really, Pastor Emerson. He scored it 3-0 in favour of Banath, and the Latvian, Bulgarian, Turkish and Russian judges had it 1 apiece going into the final round, and they all gave that final round to Banath. So he's through, and he will tackle, as I mentioned, Evgeny Zorov of Russia in what should be a pretty entertaining fight, I would say, having seen those two in the last few minutes.
Bout number 37 in the ring B, 52 kilograms. Please into the red corner, from India, Vikas.
Staying in the flyweight division, we've got 6 fights in total in this session in ring B. In the 52 kilo division, this is Vikas of India making his way in.
And his opponent, placed into the blue corner, from Bulgaria, Yasen Radev.
Vikas makes his way round to the red corner, just a few yards to my right-hand side. Had a sit down in that corner earlier on, just pulled in the retractable stool. Very comfortable it is too. And this is Yasen Radev of Bulgaria.
And the judges, 1 Korea, 2 Slovakia, 3 Armenia, 4 Uzbekistan, and 5 Poland. And the referee from Jordan, Yunis Nabel.
There's Radev. And there are the judges: Korea, Slovakia, Armenia, Uzbekistan, and Poland. Usual ritual from the referee, checking the gloves, checking the gum shield. All fighters use the same gloves.
Seconds out, please. Round one.
So Vikas of India in the red corner, Yasin Radev of Bulgaria emerging from the blue corner. Both of these two orthodox fighters. Physically, you can see that Vikas has got a bit on Radev, you would say. Slightly taller. He looks quite lean, quite angular. Be interesting to see if he uses what looks like to be a reach advantage that comes with that height advantage. These two just standing off each other at the minute, just having a little bit of a look. Radev trying to close the space down there. Vikas just moving to his right through that right hand. Darts in with the jab, didn't quite reach with it. Radev's got to try and get in close. Did there, dipped to his left through the right hand, and that did land. Just a little feint with the front foot there from Vikas, trying to see if he can draw something from Radev, and it's interesting to watch this at the minute because neither one of them really wants to commit too much. Right hand there from Vikas. Solid looking right hand there from Radev. I think it might have been half blocked. Good jab there from Vikas. Be good to see him use that a little bit more, because he can catch Radev with it as Radev is on the way in. It doesn't necessarily have to be the heaviest jab in the world. It doesn't have to snap his head back, but if he just hits him with it at all as he's coming forward, it's going to send him off balance. And as I've said in previous fights, he'll have to then start again, reset and start again. And he got caught on the way in there, definitely Radev. Right hand from Vikas was a decent shot. Decent right hand there from Radev, and the referee says no knockdown, but I thought he did get caught with a shot there because he fell short, Vikas, and he was stuck in no man's land, and Radev definitely let one go. I'll be interested to see the replay of that between rounds. It might have been that there was a little bit of a balance issue once the punch was landed, but I thought the punch did start that. We'll see. But you can see what happened to Vikas there. He fell short, and he got his feet stuck. And Radev saw that he did and looked to try and capitalise. Good short right hand there from Radev. Knockdowns in and of themselves in AIBA boxing do not result in any kind of point deduction like in professional boxing. It's, as I've been saying, it's about interpreting dominance for the judges at ringside. And they choose to do that on the balance of the 3 minutes of what they feel has landed, on what they feel has had an effect. So Radev has got it, 10-9 with 4 of the judges. The Polish judge at the bottom there, Maciej Dziurgot, has gone 10-9 to Vikas. So a good start for the Bulgarian. Vikas up against it now. If you drop that first round in a 3-round fight, then you've got to go after it in the second round.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
Well, we didn't get to see the knockdown that wasn't given by the referee, but as I say, given the scoring criteria and protocol that the judges have to apply in AIBA boxing, the fact that a knockdown not being given by the referee is not the major event that you might assume that it is. Most people watching this will be familiar with how things are done, but but maybe not everybody. And a bit of a firefight breaking out here at the start of round 3. These two just standing square and throwing. Vikas knows that he's got to go after this round because he's down with 4 out of those 5 judges, and Radev is happy just to stand there and have it with him. Little bit of body work there. Vikas looking to try and land something heavy to the head if he can. Kind of cuffing right hand there from Vikas. Didn't really land clean. Wings off a left hook there. Good left hand on the inside there from Radev. That was a real good, clever shot. Just dipped to his left and found the angle for it. Kind of screw shot. Got up between the forearms and definitely landed. He's good at... He's done a good job here, Radev, in the second round of just getting to the right kind of distance for him when he's up against Vikas. Safe is close. If he's tied up to Vikas, and there's not really an awful lot that the Indian can do with him. Just stamping with that front foot a little bit there, Vikas. Good long right hand from Vikas. That was decent from Radev, though. Got into the range that he needed. Finished on the left hook. Final 30 seconds of round 2, and the scoring of this round absolutely critical. He needs to pull back some of those scorecards, Vikas, having dropped round 1 with 4 out of 5 judges. There's been a lot thrown by these two in this round. It's not been all that easy at times to work out what's actually got through clean and what hasn't. Right hand there from Vikas. Neither one of these has been dominant. I wouldn't say that, so it's going to be fine margins for that one. Vikas, I think, he was the one who worked the harder of the two, and that looks to be reflected by the scores there, because across the board the judges have gone 10-9 for Vikas, and I think that is on account of the work rate that he put in. As I said, it was difficult really to get a handle on who was landing clean. There were lots of flurries where they were both throwing at exactly the same time. So what we have now is Vikas leading by 2 points with one judge, the Polish judge, down at the bottom of the card, and the other 4 fights are all level, which is exactly the same scenario we had in our previous fight. So Vikas needs 2 of those 4 judges to go his way in the final round. Radev needs 3 of them. Yasin Radev of Bulgaria in the blue, Vikas of India in the red. Left hand there from Radev was decent, but Vikas, who almost didn't really know where he was in the ring because he kind of lost himself slightly just through a reflex left hand, which got through as well. Looking to lead off with that right hand, Vikas. He doesn't really use the jab particularly. I mentioned it at the start of the fight, and there's no point in labouring the point all the way through, but he's got some natural advantages which he doesn't really use at times. Good right hand on the inside there, though, from Vikas. Radev with just a little bit of a tired right hand himself. Missed it, and maybe a bit slow getting it back, and Vikas clipped him. Looking for that right hand again there, Vikas. Radev trying to get on top of him, trying to close the distance down and get to where he needs to be to make his punches count. Decent jab there from Vikas. Just flicked it up from the waist. But we've seen precious little of that. He turned his back a bit there, Radev, and Vikas just carries on punching. Heads coming together on the inside there, and Vikas letting go with a left and a right. Radev is looking to try and walk him down here, final minute of the fight. Good jab there from Vikas, and that just stopped Radev dead in his tracks as he was trying to come in there. Radev ends up on the canvas and no knockdown there, and the referee absolutely right about that. Heading into the final 30 seconds. Vikas again with the right hand off the back of the jab, but moved in quick. Didn't really have the space for it. There's not been a lot in this final round, but a bit like that second round. I think maybe Vikas is going to get it more on work rate. Good jab, right hand, and he's knocked onto the heels of his feet there, Radev. And Vikas feels that he's done enough, and I would agree with him there. But that was a good fight to watch. That was a good fight to watch. And the dynamic going into that final round was a fairly simple one, really, because Vikas had a 2-point margin with one judge. He needed 2 of the cards that were level going into the final round to go his way. That's what he's going to need to happen. Radev needs 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision from the red corner, Vikas, India.
Vikas has got it. Radev disappointed. He feels that he maybe did enough in that final round, but it hasn't gone his way, and all 5 judges, by the look of those scores, have gone in favour of Vikas for that third and final round. So 2 rounds to 1 with 4 judges, 3 rounds to 0 with the other one. 3 rounds to 0 with Maciej Djurgård, and that's a good display from Vikas, because he was behind the 8 ball a bit at the end of that first round. He was down on 4 cards, and he's managed to win rounds 2 and 3 to get the victory. Vikas will go on to face the winner of our next fight, which sees Francesco Messineo of Germany come up against Subkat Engzorit of Mongolia.
Bout number 38 in the ring B, 52 kilograms. Please into the red corner from Germany, Francesco Messino.
So coming into the red corner representing Germany, Francesco Messineo.
And he's the opponent in the blue corner from Mongolia, Subkat Engzorit.
Boxing out of the blue corner for Mongolia, Sugbat Engzorit.
And the judges of this bout: 1, Bulgaria; 2, Korea; 3, Turkey; 4, Slovakia; and 5, Poland. And the referee from Ireland, Duffy Sadie.
Those are our judges. And the referee, Sadie Duffy of Ireland. So another fight in the men's flyweight division here. Francesco Messineo of Germany.
Round 1.
In the red corner, Sugbat Engzorit of Mongolia in the blue. Messineo in the orthodox stance. Engzorit boxing as a southpaw. Good left to the body there from Engzorit early on. And another left to the body, scoring a couple of times there, very obviously, for the judges early on. Messineo looking for the left hand. I think that did get through, actually. Just poking with a jab there, Engzorit. Got caught by right hand there, Engzorit. Lands a left of his own. And then just trying to push Messineo back to the ropes and work away to the body. Short left hand just collided with the forehead. Another left hand just caught Messineo on the way in. And again there. He's trying to move forward and keep that guard high, Messineo, but he's getting picked off quite easily here by Engzorit at the moment. He's got nice busy hands. And what it means is that Messineo is unable really to get into the distance that he needs to be at. Uppercut on the inside, a couple of times there from Messineo. Those were decent shots. Good right hand there from Messineo too. Jab there from Messineo. He is having some success in this opening round, and he's a front foot fighter. He's looking to get onto the inside and be aggressive. And again there, he's landed 2-3 decent punches, but he's having to wear a few on the way in, or at least he has had to do so far anyway. Good example there, 2-3 punches, all hitting the target for Engzorit, whose head guard has slipped up a little bit there. Messineo again towards the end of the round there, just looking to try and close that gap and get on top of Engzorit, and they barrel into the ropes right above me. Bell goes at the end of the round. Decent opening round between these two. As I said, about midway through, and Francesco Messineo, you've got a fighter who's a front foot fighter. He's looking to try and get into range and let his hands go. He's always going to have to cop a few on the way through, and as a result, we've got 4 scores of 10-9 there in favour of Eng Zorit. Kim Jong-in of Korea has gone 10-9 to Mesoneo. Now, he did have some success in that round, as I said. He did have success. He will always have some success because he commits and he's a front foot fighter, but against a skillful fighter like Eng Zorit, it comes at too high a cost, unfortunately. He's not looked hurt at any point, but just a nice combination there. That's a good example, a good illustration of the difficulties that you're going to have winning a fight.
Seconds out, please.
With the style that he's got to get hit less, quite simply. But with that kind of come forward style, that's going to be a difficult thing to achieve. Good combinations there from Eng Zorit, but a right hand got through from Mesoneo, which kind of illustrates my point, really. He takes those punches well, Mesoneo. He's certainly got a decent chin on him. But to be able to walk through that kind of stuff from Eng Zorit and win the fight in a 3-round fight, it's a big ask. Just falling a bit short with the right hand there, Mesoneo. Eng Zorit had just stepped off and came back with a decent couple of shots. A little bit cheeky there from Eng Zorit. Instruction to stop had come in from our referee, and he just let one go. Good straight left hand there from Eng Zorit. Good one too, and a nod of the head there from Mesoneo. He appreciated that as a good skillful bit of work, and then there was an uppercut in there from Eng Zorit too. And just a warning there from the referee for Eng Zorit of using the shoulder, of sticking the shoulder in a bit, and you've got to be careful. These 3-round fights, the absolute last thing you want to do is lose a point, but again, good boxing from Eng Zorit, just spinning around that front foot, pivoting around the front foot, changing the angle, and then just snapping in a left followed by a right and tagging Mesoneo. And Mesoneo will keep coming forward for the entire 9 minutes of this fight. That much you can tell from having watched him so far, but he's getting caught with regularity. Good right hand. I thought landed from Mesoneo. The combination came back from Eng Zorit, and he gets a standing count there, Mesoneo. He didn't look too pleased about it. I do have some sympathy there. Good crisp couple of punches, but I thought he got a right hand off himself just before that. It's the referee's discretion, of course, as to whether they issue that standing 8. And as I've been explaining throughout the course of this session so far, standing 8 knockdowns in and of themselves, they do not result in any impact on the scoring. Just because you have a standing 8 count given against you, that doesn't mean that you lose a point in that round. That could end up being a 10-8 round in favour of Eng Zorit, and the Turkish judge has gone for that, and one of the other judges down the bottom there. No, it's just Yasser Sinar who's gone 10-8 in that round. So he's almost there, Subkat Eng Zorit. Something has got to go badly wrong for him in this 3rd and final round. Mesoneo's got to really turn it on if he's going to pull this one out of the bag. I think that was a combination there. He threw a right hand after he got clipped with the 1-2. And it was then that the referee jumped in and gave the standing 8. So he's comfortably out in front here.
3rd round.
Subkat Eng Zorit. And he's a good fighter. Him against Vikas in the next round could be an interesting one. Right hand there from Messineo. Vikas is busy, as we saw, busy come forward kind of fighter. Technically a little bit crude at times. And so in that regard, not that dissimilar in a way to Messineo, although of different kind of dimensions. He could definitely jab more if he wanted to, Vikas, and I think he's going to need to against Engzorit. Engzorit there with 2-3 good punches there, and again just pivots around that front foot, changes the angle. He's got good movement. Right hand there though from Messineo, does get through. He holds those hands low, Engzorit, so he does take that risk, and Messineo, as I said from the beginning, is full of purpose, he's full of work rate. He's always going to keep walking forward, trying to walk his opponent down. Good short right hand there from Messineo. Throws another one, misses. And he's put a lot into this. He's played a big part in this fight. It's been a good watch, and no small part that's been due to him, but Engzorit of these two has just got the better all-round skills and has demonstrated that. Chopping down with the left hand that time. Subkat Engzorit. Boksie for Mongolia, he's in the blue. Francesco Messineo of Germany is in the red. Messineo again there had to take 3-4 clean punches on his way in. Good long left hand there from Engzorit. He was just riding at Messineo, taking his feet back, so I don't think it had too much of an impact on him. But again, just an illustration of the work that he could do with that left hand, Engzorit, and he has won that fight, and he has won it clearly. But it was good to watch, and as I said, Messineo played a big part in that because he's very, very game. He does have some ability, but in Engzorit, he's just up against a very technically proficient fighter who was just able to catch him on the way in far too often. And you look at that there, there's nothing major about those punches, 3-4 punches, but quick hands, they all land, they all score. And although he's not really hurt his man, in AIBA boxing, it's not about hurting your opponent. You can win a fight without hurting your opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout in Ring B by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Subkat Engzorit, Mongolia.
And Engzorit gets it. And he swept that final round too, 10-9s with all of the judges in that final round. So Kim Jong-un gave that first round, it was to Messineo, then everything else has gone. It's gone Engzorit's way. And there was a 10-8 in there from Yasosino in round 2 as well. And he'll definitely take some beating, the Mongolian, because you're going to have to be a cute fighter to get the better of him. I said at the end there, when we were waiting for the scores to come up, that in AIBA boxing, you don't need to hurt your opponent to win the fight. And what I mean by that, basically, is that it's about scoring punches punches landing on the target area with the knuckle part of the glove. That's what you'll hear referees and judges tell you. Now, it doesn't matter particularly how hard they land. It just matters that they do land. Now, when it comes to interpreting dominance, of course, if you're landing really big, heavy shots that have a big effect on your opponent, then of course that counts.
From Turkey, Sazde Saymaz.
But it's a regularity that someone like Enkorit lands, which makes him dangerous and makes him difficult to beat. So this is Seyzade Saymaz of Turkey coming into the red corner. This is another fight in the flyweight division.
And his opponent in the blue corner from Jordan, Hudhaifa Eshish.
And following him into the arena, heading for the blue corner, is Hudhaifa Eshish of Jordan. Now, whoever wins this fight will be up against Juan Pantoja of Spain, who got a bye through the opening round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this round by mercy, second round is Kira Naira, red corner, Japan.
And the judges about number 39 in the ring B. 1 Poland, 2 Russia, 3 Bulgaria, 4 Latvia, and 5 Mongolia. And the referee from Guatemala, Pastor Emerson.
Those are our judges: Poland, Russia, Bulgaria, Latvia, Mongolia. And this will be the final men's flyweight fight of this session. After this, we head into light welter for just the one fight, and then into the heavyweight division. Touch of gloves, and then Saymaz just kind of
out.
Lent in for an embrace there. So there goes the bell.
Round 1.
And Eshish of Jordan starting quick here. Both of these two boxing out of the orthodox stance. Saymaz of Turkey in the red, Eshish in the blue. Eshish is throwing a lot of shots at the start of this fight, and Saymaz has got no choice really but to try and go with him. A couple of good left hands there from Saymaz. Eshish is just a hive of activity, a whirling dervish of a fighter, really. There's always something going on. Those arms, legs, a lot of movement there. Saymaz, on the other hand, is just a little bit more economical, a little bit more balanced maybe, but he works those hands fairly effectively there, Eshish. Little jab there from Saymaz, nothing major, but he got through. Stiffer jab as he tried to find Eshish on the way in, and again there he's just maybe finding a little bit of range here, Saymaz. As I say that though, Eshish crowds him again and just works away to the body. It'll be very interesting to see if Eshish can keep this pace up, because he has gone off like a firecracker at the start of this fight. Trying to climb into a lead left hook there, Eshish. And Saymaz is just trying to time him as he comes in. Does so that time with the left hand, as he just fell in behind his own right a bit there, Eshish. Good left hand there again from Saymaz. Missing with the left hand there, Saymaz. Bit of the snap has just gone off Eshish heading into the final minute of round 1, which is understandable. Got through with a straight left hand there, though. Good straight right hand there from Seymaz, and the referee gives the standing count. Eshish just demonstrating that he's fine, that he's okay. It's a good punch, well delivered, straight down the pipe. And Eshish again just comes flying in towards Seymaz. He's put so much into this round, Eshish, but he hasn't had as much success as he would have liked, and he's gone very gung-ho at the end of the round here, I think, feeling that maybe that standing count would sway the judges in Seymaz's direction, and he's eating a fair bit of leather at the minute, I'm afraid, standing with his feet square there and looking to try and really let his hands go. It's high-octane stuff, this, from the Jordanian, but there's not too much science behind it, an enormous amount of effort, whereas Seymaz over in the red corner has just got that little bit more composure about him. Good round to watch, though. And the judges have gone 10-9 across the board to Seymaz. It was a pretty easy round to score. Eshish with a very, very lively start and did have some success early on, but outside of that first 20 seconds or so, really, it was Seymaz who was having the final say. And it suits him that he's got a fighter, I think, like Eshish, who's so very willing to come forward and lead off. He's happy to be the more reactive fighter of the two. At this kind of level, if you just steam into the middle of the ring, throwing punches apropos of nothing, then that's a risky thing to do. But we're not going to see any kind of change in policy here from Eshish, because he knows only one way, I would say, and particularly given that he's dropped that first round, and he'll know that he will just have to keep coming forward, hoping that Seymaz will wilt onto the barrage at some point. Both of them just trading left hands there. Looking for the uppercut there, Eshish. Didn't quite get it. That's a good bit of work from Seymaz. Lands the right hand, then pulls the weight back. Nice jab from the Turk. Flurry there from Eshish, but most of that was taken on the gloves. Right hand there from Eshish, though, did get through, but Seymaz is right back in there with a combination. Nice uppercut there from Eshish. Right hand, though, from Seymaz. Lands. And a nice 1-2 there, straight down the middle. Good right hand, just snucking around the back of the guard. But the uppercut on the inside again there from Eshish. He's had some good success with that when he's got up tight and close. There's the right hand, and the referee jumps in with another standing count. It's a clean, hard shot. He's not hurt, but it's a clean, hard shot. Good solid right hand that from Eshish. I think he landed it just as Seymaz was throwing his own. Nice uppercut again there from Eshish. You see the head snap back there of Seymaz, but then you could say the same about Eshish as he just felt that right hand from his Turkish opponent. Good fight to watch, and a bit like the last one, you know, you've got a fighter in Eshish who comes forward constantly, and that makes for a good fight, but there's just not quite enough science and technique behind it. Right hand comes in there, and at this kind of level, you're going to get picked apart if you're up against a good operator, and Seymaz is a good operator. Right hand there, though, lands from Eshish. Final 20 seconds of the fight, of the round rather. Nice right hand to finish the round there from Seymaz, just pulling the weight onto the back foot. And he swept it in the second round, and there's a 10-8 there as well from the Bulgarian judge, who's decided that the level of dominancy displayed in that round justified a 10-8. That's Maria Kavaklieva. So he's in very good shape here, Cesar Seimas. He's got a 2-point lead with 4 judges, a 3-point lead with the Bulgarian judge. So very difficult to see Eshish turning this one around. But he's giving it absolutely everything.
Seconds out, please.
There's that long right hand, and it was off the back of that the referee, Pastor Emerson, just jumped in and gave the standing count. And that's when you will see judges referees rather give standing counts. They're not looking to see whether the fighter's hurt or not. That's not the point. They see a heavy, clean shot land, and they'll stand in, they'll step in and give the standing count. The point of it really is to protect fighters. They see a good quality, heavy punch land, the kind of punch that could hurt a fighter, and they step in and give the standing 8. And he's just digging his toes in again here, Eshish, and looking to get onto the front foot and give Seimas as much to think about as he possibly can. He's certainly got terrific fighting spirit. And it's not like he hasn't got through at times, because he definitely has, but for every one that he lands, Seimas, you would say, has landed 3. But he's got a good engine, Eshish, to be able to fight at this kind of pace. And Seimas is equally well conditioned, because he's been able to stay with him. And you just look at the way they fight it. You've got one kind of, they're fighting at 2 different speeds almost. One seems to be fighting in fast forward. Eshish with a good right hand there, just knocked his man back onto the ropes and then let another couple go. He's having a good spell here, Eshish, and he knows it, just trying to step on Seimas, who is looking to cover up a little bit here. There's not much coming back from the Turk at the moment, and Eshish just going after him, just past the midway point in round 3. And he just needs to push this as hard as he possibly can here, Eshish. He needs something huge to turn this around in the final round. But he's just gone into his shell a little bit, Seimas. I don't know whether he was slightly buzzed by one of those 20 seconds or so ago, but there was just a passage there where, for the first time, he wasn't really throwing too much back, and Eshish just stands square in front of him there, gets on top of him, and he's got him backpedaling here, the Jordanian. He's having a good round. Right hand there, though, from Seimas, and finally, he does start to stir. But it's been boxed at some pace, this, it really has. And I think Seimas may be just beginning to feel it for the first time. Just sticking the right hand there, Seimas. It's more single shots from him now in this round. Good left hand on the inside there from Eshish, who just keeps piling forward. You've got to have a lot of admiration for him, you really do, because he put everything into that, absolutely everything. And I think he's won that final round. About halfway through, I think he hurt Seimas a little bit, because he definitely went into his shell. But he built up a good lead there. The Turkish fighter, 2 points on 4 cards, 3 points on another card, and I don't think you could say that Eshish has won that final round 10-8, although he did have some serious success in the second half of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of bout 39 in the ring B by unanimous decision from the red corner from Turkey, Sazde Seimas.
And Seimas gets it. And split scoring over that final round. So the Polish and Russian judge both gave that final round to Eshish, and I think one of the other judges did as well. Those scores just slid off the screen there. Round 3, well, actually 4 out of 5 have gone to Budhaj for Eshish. It was definitely his round, I thought. Watching that, the Bulgarian judge has gone for Seymaz, and so he's got through by 2 rounds to 1 there on 4 cards, and comfortably on the other. And Eshish, as I say, he's just got to try and tighten up that technique a little bit. You don't want to take away any of that hunger, that desire. He's a good fighter to watch. You'll always want to see someone like him again, but at this level, he just needs to be a little bit cuter. But he's got an engine on him, that is for absolutely certain, because he put it on Seymaz every single second of every single round, or tried to. And then in that 3rd and final round, he had success. He started to get to him.
And about number 40 in the ring B, in the 64 kilogram, please into the red corner. From Bulgaria, Kasamir Jurov.
Okay, so we jump up a few weight divisions now into the men's light welterweight division, 64 kilos. In the red corner, this is Krasimir Jurov of Bulgaria.
And his opponent, please, into the blue corner from Moldavia, Stefan Wozniakovic.
And this is Stefan Wozniakovic of Moldova.
And the judges of this bout: 1, Slovakia; 2, Korea; 3, Jordan; 4, Armenia; and 5, Ireland. And the referee from Sri Lanka, Siromala Kampu.
Wozniakovic in the blue corner. Five judges at ringside. Two judges sat on that left-hand side of the ring there as you were looking at it. One each on the other 3 sides. Shiramala Thampu of Sri Lanka, our referee. And you notice the size difference immediately. We've just seen 6 flyweight fights on the bounce, and these fighters up at 64 kilos as opposed to 52. And Jurov of Bulgaria in the red there in the southpaw stands. Wozniakovic of Moldova in the blue. Looking for the left hand there. Jurov. Flurry of activity on the inside, and again there as they just stand square and let the hands go as they both got into range. Difficult to see who came off better there. I'm not sure if anything really got through all that clean. Right hand there from Wozniakovic just knocked Jurov off balance a little bit as he moved away to his right. But then a decent 1-2 came in from the Bulgarian. Plenty of intent from these two. And at the minute, what we're seeing is them just standing off, having a good look, and then almost simultaneously, they'll spring into action and really try and let their hands go. Good straight left hand there from Jurov. That was good boxing. And then again, just snapped the 1-2 down the centre. Wozniakovic just bringing that back foot round a touch as he threw that right hand. Coming in slightly square. The head's almost cracking together on the inside. Again, looking for that straight left there, Jurov. He just looks to have a bit more about him than his opponent so far, just circling away to his right and then setting his feet for the 1-2. He's just getting off first here, the Bulgarian. There's a lot of posturing from Wozniakowski, but he's not leading off all that much. As I say that, he whipped in a fairly decent 1-2. He's holding the centre of the ring, and Jurov is circling around him, just trying to keep him turning. Left hand from Wozniakowski off the back of that exchange, and then again they both just get into range, and there's a blizzard of gloves, really. Good left hand there from Jurov. That's the punch that he scored with most in that round. Cleaner punching came from him in that opening 3 minutes. Kind of a muscular approach from Wozniakowski. Didn't seem to me to get all that much effective work done. And Jurov gets it 10-9 with all 5 of our judges.
Seconds out, please.
34 fighters in the 64-kilo category. This one
Round
of
2.
just a couple of fights that's having to take place at this stage at light welter. Everybody else getting a bye into the next stage, which is the final 32. No seeding. I've mentioned that a couple of times, but I'll just throw that in every now and again just so people remember that there's not been any seeding for this competition. The draw done completely at random. Jurov of Bulgaria in the red, Wozniakowski of Moldova in the blue, and as I mentioned, he's a muscular fighter, Wozniakowski. He looks to get close and then really just slings his hands in any way he can. There's not a great deal of technique about it at times. Let's try and work on the inside there, Wozniakowski. Right hand to the body there. Good right hand there from Wozniakowski. And again there, just straight down the middle. He snatches with that right hand a bit, but a couple of times there he managed to throw it straight down the middle, and he's having a bit of success here. An uppercut on the inside there too, might just about have landed on Jurov. And he's taken the centre of the ring in the second round, like he did in the first, Wozniakowski, but he's maybe just been a little bit more selective. And he's probably winning this round at the minute, heading into the final minute of it. Fell short with the right hand there, but Jurov wasn't really in a position to do anything about it. Nice 1-2 there, though, from Jurov. Saw plenty of that in the opening round, not as much in the second round. Good straight right hand again there from Wozniakowski. He's still got that kind of tight style, the Moldovan, as he catches the left hand there from Jurov. But I think he has just kind of just settled down a bit in this second round. Just relaxed a touch, which has allowed that right hand to come through a bit straighter. But right towards the end of the round there, a couple of nice snappy 1-2s down the middle from Zhurov, and that will tighten this up. I thought heading into the final 30 seconds there that Wozniakowski was in the driving seat in that second round, and that has made things just a little bit closer. And just having a look at the scores there, split scoring in round 2, which doesn't come as a great surprise. Here they are. So 2 judges have gone for Wozniakowski, and the 3 in the middle there have gone to Zhurov. And I think he might have rescued himself with those couple of flurries, those couple of 1-2s right at the end of the round there, because that means that he's now got a 2-point lead with 3 judges, with the other 2 cards level. I think he needed that good finish to the round, I really do, because for my money, if he hadn't provided that, then I think he would have lost it
out, please.
on all 5 of those cards. That's just a guess, of course, but I think he may well have done, and then it would have been 1 round apiece heading into the 3rd and final round. As it is, he's got a fairly significant advantage here. Krasimir Zhurov of Bulgaria in the red, Stefan Wozniakowski of Moldova in the blue. Well, both of them falling short there. Wozniakowski with the right hand, Zhurov with the left. Looking for the left hand counter, didn't quite reach with it. Left to the body there from Zhurov, put plenty behind that, then just caught Wozniakowski with a left hand as he was once again just looking to try and get on top of him, always shuffling towards him. Standing square there though, Wozniakowski. And when he squares up, he just doesn't throw that right hand nearly as effectively. It's an obvious technical point really, because it means that it's got to come in from wide. It's impossible for him to throw it straight if he brings that back foot round as he moves in. And when he's thrown it effectively is when he's taken his feet with him and been able to shoot it down the middle. That was better, right hand to the body from Wozniakowski. There's that 1-2 from Zhurov. Wasn't completely clean, but then you just throw him, just pull the weight back. It's good. Good boxing, good skillful boxing. Straight left hand from Zhurov, finds the target. Into the final minutes of round 3. Left hand gets through there from Wozniakowski. Haven't seen too many of them. This has been a good fight to watch. There's been good action in this session in Ring B so far. Lovely left hand there from Zhurov. Perfect left hand as Wozniakowski just looked to move in again. He just timed it beautifully. And he can take a punch, Wozniakowski, I can tell you that, because that could not have landed any sweeter. What's been interesting has been watching Wozniakowski just kind of learn on the job here, because first round he was muscular and kind of crude and gung-ho, and he's been gung-ho all the way through, but he just has managed to refine things a bit and have more success as a result. But Zhurov, I think, has taken his final round because, again, when he's needed to be, he's found that accuracy. Well, there goes the bell. Always just distracting with that lead hand there, Zhurov, just oscillating it up and down. Doesn't really throw the jab all that much. There was that left-hand counter. That was an absolute peach of a punch.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 14 in the ring B, the winner by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Stefan Wozniakowicz, Moldavia.
No, that must be wrong. That must be wrong.
One more time. The winner of this fight by unanimous decision from the red corner from Bulgaria.
Brief moment of panic there for
Durov.
Krasimir Zhurov, but we saw the scores as they were coming through, and we knew that had to be wrong. So he has won by 3 rounds to 0 with those 3 judges in the centre there. We'll get a detailed look at the scoring in just a second. And round 3 has gone 10-9 in his favour across all 5 judges. So 3 rounds to 0 with 3 judges, 2 rounds to 1 with the other 2. And Zhurov will go through to box Colin Kearney of Scotland in the next round. But again, good fight to watch. Good example of that left hand, Zhurov. He throws that left hand really well. It's amazing how often a southpaw left hand just crashes through the guard and finds the target.
91 kilograms in the ring B. Please into the red corner from Belarus, Vitaly Astani.
So now we're into the heavyweights, and in the red corner here, Vitaly Astanin of Belarus, 91 kilos. 24 fighters in the men's draw at this weight.
And his opponent, please into the blue corner from Lithuania, Gelmius Adamkevičius.
And from Lithuania, we've got Gelmius Adamkevičius. And whoever wins this will be up against Mikita Gorbatenko of Ukraine in the last 16. So we've got
And
good few fights in this first prelim round at this weight.
1 Turkey, 2 Uzbekistan, 3 Bulgaria, 4 Russia, and 5 Israel. And the referee from Jordan, Yunis Nabel.
8 fights in total in the first preliminary round in the heavyweight division. That's Adamkevičius of Lithuania.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision.
Physically quite different, these two, when you look at them. Adamkevičius of Lithuania has got the height advantage here, certainly. Vitaly Astanin of Belarus,
Round 1.
shorter, kind of more squat. he's in the red. He goes into the southpaw stance straight away. Adam Kavicius of Lithuania looking for a big uppercut there. He's boxing in the blue. Some heavy blows being thrown, being traded early on by both of these two. It's a big leap from light heavyweight to heavyweight. You're looking at 81 kilos to 91. That's 10 kilograms. Obviously, it's 22 pounds if you're more used to dealing in old money, which is 1 stone and 8 pounds. That's a lot. He just got a kind of a look to me, Astanin, as somebody who's stuck between weights a little bit. And the referee just having a word with him about punching low. Left to the pit of the stomach there from Adam Kavicius. Nice combination there from Astanin. Most of it landed on the gloves. Adam Kavicius is just crowding himself a bit here. He's the taller of the two, as you can see, and he's got that height, he's got that reach, but he moves in quickly. And just that's a good example there. He gets too tight in, and he's not got room for the right hand. He's looking for the right uppercut there, which he can deliver from up close. The right hand over the top there was a good shot, and it looked like that might have rocked Astanin a little bit. He's being bullied slightly at the minute. That's a nice left hand there from Astanin. Caught Adam Kavicius as he was coming forward. He's very much been the proactive fighter, the fighter in blue so far. He's the one on the front foot. He's the one coming forward. He's aiming some big shots. Hasn't really got through that clean with all that many of them. Right hand on the inside there. Looking for the left to the body. Slightly dangerous thing for Astanin here is that he does tend to kind of lean onto his opponent and lean in. He's made for the uppercut a bit. Adam Kavicius, I think if he gets up close, just needs to just push him off, shrug him off, and look for that uppercut. That's a nice 1-2 there from Astanin. These are quite effective works to the body there, Astanin. Adam Kavicius there, just feet crossing, gloves following his feet really, chasing Astanin across the ring. That's quite an interesting first round because Adam Kavicius, as I say, he's definitely the aggressor, but I'm not sure how much really got through, and he's got the credit from the judges there. 4 out of the 5 judges going 10-9. Adam Kavicius. So I'm not really arguing with that, but Astanin had a bit more success in that round than it might have looked like he did, possibly. Sergei Krutosov thought so, anyway. But that's a good start for Adam Kavicius. He's got to find his distance though, because at the minute he's crowding himself. Like I said, he's shutting down his own space. Nice left to the body there. But he's got the height, he's got the reach. He's got to give himself room to work.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
So Vitaly Astanin of Belarus, the southpaw in the red. Gelmius Adam Kavicius of Lithuania in the blue. He's taken that first round 10-9 on 4 out of the 5 cards. Sneaky little left hand there from Astanin. As I said at the start, physically there's quite a big difference between these two. I don't know what Astanin weighs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a distance short of that 91 kilo limit, whereas Adam Kavicius, you'd imagine, will be right on it. right hand there, Adam Kavicius. He doesn't really jab at all. That's one thing you notice about him. Bangs to the body with that left hand. Good left hand there from Astanin. Left into the body there from Astanin. Adam Kavicius is trying to turn that right hand over, but he doesn't really have room for it, as I've said. On the inside there, this suits Astanin more because it's easier for him to get work done that close up. It's the final minute of round two. It's been a bit messy this round. No one's really taken a clear advantage here, I don't think. Astanin, of the two, has possibly landed the majority of the cleaner blows here. And just there, he dabs with the lead hand with the jab. There's nothing on it, but it did land. Looking for a big left hand there, Adam Kavicius. One of those two at least partially got through. Decent left hand from Astanin. Looking to try and sneak one in around the back of the guard again as Adam Kavicius comes forward. Great to see Adam Kavicius just throw some straight punches. He hardly ever throws a straight punch. A jab, straight right hand, but he gets to where he is there, and then it's hooks all the way to the body, to the head. That's almost a right cross. Bell goes at the end of the round. And some split scoring again there. Most of the judges, 4 out of 5, have gone for Adam Kavicius. Artur Gurginian down the bottom has gone for Astanin. So he got 2 scores of 19 apiece, and the other 3 are 20 points to 18 in favour of the big Lithuanian. So he's in control of this. I don't think he's necessarily had the better of Astanin in terms of punches landed, but he's always been coming forward. He's been the one looking to make the fight. He's been proactive, whereas Astanin has been more reactive. And when things are tight in terms of scoring shots, then that is a factor, or can be. Decent jab there from Adam Kavicius. That's the first time we've really seen one from him. Snatches with the lead left hand that time. If he could just throw that jab, just shoot out that jab, an orthodox kind of jab, then against an opponent like Astanin, he can just pick him off on the way in. He can stop him on the way in. As I've said in previous fights, you don't have to land it absolutely square to the face, square to the head. Anywhere will do. Good short right hand on the inside there from Adam Kavicius. It disrupts the opponent's rhythm, if they've indeed found one, and if they haven't, then it makes it very difficult for them to establish one. But that's more the kind of punch he looks for there. Just sets his feet and just muscles that right hand in. Right hand just fell slightly short there from Adam Kavicius. The pace has just dipped a bit heading into the final minute of this contest. Astonin looks like he's running on empty a bit. Adam Kavicius just leans on him, tries to walk him back into the red corner. Astonin's happy enough to hold on in there and just nick a few seconds breather if he can. Final few seconds, and Adam Kavicius has got this one in the bag. He was 20 points to 18 up with 3 judges going into the final round. The other 2 cards were 19 apiece. He's won this final round, I think. And he's going to go through to the next round, where, as I mentioned before, he'll be up against Mikita Gorbatenko of Ukraine. That's a good right hand there from Adam Kavicius. Astonin showed us some skills in that fight. As I said, I think the problem he's got is that he's not really a full-blown heavyweight. He's giving away size there to Adam Kavicius.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of bout 41 by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Gelmius Adamkiewicz, Lithuania.
So he gets it, Adam Kavicius, and 3 rounds to 0 with 3 of the judges and 2 rounds to 1 with the other 2. All 3 judges going his way with round 3. So some success there for Astonin, and he gets some return from the judges at ringside. He looked for that left hand to the body a lot, Adam Kavicius, which is never a bad thing. You don't sometimes see enough body punching from the higher weights.
Bout number 42, 91 kilograms in ring B. Please into the red corner from Cuba, Jorge Luis Felimon.
So staying with the heavyweights and coming into the red corner from Cuba, we've got Jorge Felimon. First time I've seen a Cuban in this tournament. Such a powerhouse of boxing and have been for such a long time.
From Armenia, Henrik Teshrikian.
That's Felimon. Meanwhile, making his way to the blue corner for Armenia, Henrik Teshrikian.
And the judges of this bout, 1. Guatemala, 2, Mongolia, 3, Poland, 4, Sri Lanka, and 5, Latvia. And the referee from Uzbekistan, Alexander Kamidov.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous
Quite a height difference between these two. You look at Felimon there, he's towering over Tuzgrikian. It's Felimon of Cuba in the red.
Seconds out.
Tuzgrikian of Armenia in the blue.
Round 1.
Aggressive start here from Tuzgrikian, just trying to keep that head on the move on the way in. You look at that kind of peekaboo style almost, moving from the waist. He knows that he's got to try and get onto the inside that jab of Felimon and get to work there if he can, really put him under some pressure, and that's exactly what he's looking to do. Felimon trying to stay on that jab, decent jab there from Tuzgrikian, and again, holds those gloves low, the Cuban, caught by a right hand there too, and just sags into the ropes a touch. Maybe just a balance issue, just slightly lost his footing, but this is a good start from Tuzgrikian. He's caught Felimon a little bit cold there, maybe. As I said, he's marauding forward, swaggering forward, but he's trying to keep that head on the move, keep those shoulders moving. Just look at him there, just oscillating, bouncing side from side. Good jab there from Felimon. Sets his feet close up there, Tuzgrikian, and looks to let his hands go. And this is going to be an interesting fight. Just a minute in, and you can already see that. Stooping to jab to the waist there, Felimon, then goes up top. Good right hand. He's got to keep that head on the move, Tuzgrikian. We've seen him do it so far. He cannot neglect that at any point. Couple of jabs there from Tuzgrikian, followed by the right hand. Nothing major, but it's tidy enough. Good jab there from Felimon, and again, just slinging it up from the waist. Good snap on it to Tuzgrikian, trying to work on the inside again, and does get through with a couple of right hands, and they're just standing square in front of each other there, both of them happy in the pocket, happy to trade. Good right hand there from Felimon, but Tuzgrikian comes back. Another right hand from Felimon, who's just looking to try and take it to Tuzgrikian here in a role reversal from what we saw at the start of the first round, and there's been a hell of a lot of leather thrown in this opening 2 minutes plus at the minute. Tuzgrikian just on the retreat a bit. Felimon just looking to step on him, step to him. Big right hand there from Felimon. I thought the referee might have had a standing count there. He does for this one. And another right hand there from the Cuban. And he's starting to do some damage towards the end of the round here. He had to sustain a fairly frenzied attack at the start of the round, and Tuzgrikian, to me, looks like he's in a bit of trouble here. There's some blood coming from the end of the nose. Working to the body, and he's just trying to cover up here. Tuzgrikian does come back with a right hand. Final 10 seconds of round 1, and the bell can't come soon enough here for Tuzgrikian, I'm afraid. He made a decent enough start, but he's just felt the wind disappear from his sails there towards the end of the round. Well, there are the scores at the end of that first round, and some 10-8s in there for Jorge Felimon of Cuba in this heavyweight bout. And after Tuzgrikian of Armenia in blue made a good start, made a quick start, the Cuban really did begin to pick him off in the later stages of the round. We're seeing some good work there from Tuzgrikian, but towards the end there was a standing count for Felimon, and he was just beginning to punish his man a bit to the body, up to the head as well. And some of those judges deciding that the 10-8s were in order.
Round 2.
And again, Felimon just stepping into a right hand there. Tuzgrikian, though, comes back with a neat little left on the inside. You can see the sweat just spray away from the head there of the big Cuban. Tuzgrikian has got plenty of minerals. He's more than happy to get in there and trade, but towards the end of that first round, he took some fairly heavy artillery. Uppercut on the inside there, left uppercut from Felimon. Just didn't quite land. If it had, then I think Tuzgrikian could have been in a bit of trouble. Good right hand, straight right hand, and there's the standing count again here. Felimon just stepping on Tuzgrikian again here. We just had that standing count in the second round. We had one in the first round as well, and he's trying to cover up here, Tuzgrikian, but it's a very difficult thing to do. The Armenian in the blue up against Felimon Cuba in the red, and Felimon again just rumbles towards him. Lovely right uppercut there, and the referee steps in for another standing count. And this is a dominant display from Felimon at the moment. And the referee actually has waved this one over. He's decided that he's seen Tuzgrikian take enough, and after making a quick start at the beginning of the first round, the Armenian, it was Felimon who took over. Standing count in the first, some 10-8 scored by the judges at the end of that round, and in the second, it was more of the same, and that is impressive stuff by the man in the red corner. Just getting ungloved there, Felimon, and that was good to watch while it lasted. It really was, because just Grikian, you've got to give him credit there, because he knows he's up against it. You always are when you're in with a Cuban. And he tried to win that fight. He came out quick at the start of the first round because he was trying to win that fight. Sounds like an obvious thing to say in a tournament, but sometimes fighters, they want to get through. They don't want to get stopped.
The winner of this bout by RSC from the red corner, Jorge Luis Filemon, Cuba.
Referee stopped the contest. A minute and 45 into round 2. And Felimon will be up against Ardijan Azemi of Macedonia in the next round. But as I said, Tuzgrikian did have some joy, particularly early. Keeping that head on the move, lateral movement. Trying to make himself a difficult target to hit, knowing he was going to have to get tight, get close, and did some damage in the early stages. You can see it there. Felimon, I think, was maybe caught a little bit cold, but when he adjusted and got used to the pace of things, then he set about Tuzgrikian. I thought he might jump in with a standing count just before that one, actually, the referee. That was in round 1. You can see there that he's just not that interested at that point. The uppercut came in. His guard's barely up. His head was getting bounced around a bit there. The referee had a good look and decided that we didn't need to see any more. So next up, we will have Azad Bakishov of Azerbaijan and Ramazan Dadayev of Russia. So just a slight delay in Ring B because we're trying to keep these two rings in sync. And because we had the stoppage, we are just going to wait, I think, until that fight that you can see in the foreground of the picture there is completed. It's a great arena, this. The Halle Legionov, a handball arena most of the time. The Kielce handball team. You can get about 4,000 people in here, I'm told, with some temporary seating added in. And that's the backstage area. I was out there earlier on having a little bit of a wander about. Plenty of room there for fighters to get loose. Three rings. There's the kind of track area as well. Kazakhstan tracksuit there, a Triple G baseball cap. And as I said, fighters have come from all over the world. 440 fighters from 52 countries, all just mixing together backstage in this COVID-secure environment.
Seconds out, please. Round 3.
There's a lot of nervous energy in those kinds of warm-up holding areas. You can smell it really when you walk in. Literally, you can. It's the tension. It's the adrenaline. It's like walking into a weigh-in. You know, the temperature of the room just changes. It's not just because of all the bodies in there. There's just something in the air. There's a frisson there. There's apprehension. There's some nerves. There's anticipation. There's excitement. There's all sorts of things. And in that backroom area, what you didn't quite see there was that towards the far end of it, you've got the doors that go into essentially small dressing rooms, which you go through, and out the other side of that, you get to the kind of backstage area behind those big screens and behind the archway there. And it's from that direction, from the left as we look at it here on the screen, that you come up the walkway, emerge through the archway, and off you go into the ring. Either you take a left and end up in ours in ring B, or you hang a right and end up in ring A. On the pads. And that is Sayed Sadri, who we will see after our next fight. He's up against Sebastian Ospina of Colombia. Some fighters down here just staying sharp and also having to keep weight off, because you have to weigh in constantly throughout the course of competitions, throughout the course of tournaments. And you look at the sweatsuits that the fighters have got on there. They've just got to stay down around their fighting weight. It's difficult to hold that weight. Difficult to hold that weight throughout the course of a competition. It can be more difficult for some fighters than for others, of course, but that is a big part of it. A big part of it.
This bout by unanimous decision is the boxer from blue corner,
And that, I believe, will be Sebastian Ospina, who I mentioned. And that's the other thing, is everybody has to share these areas, of course, and amateurs, international amateurs are used to that. They're used to that. These COVID-secure bubbles have been a bit different for pro boxing because fighters have had to get used to seeing each other around when they normally wouldn't during the week of a fight. But anyone who's been on this conveyor belt, had an international amateur career, then you just rub shoulders, you rub along together, you use the same facilities, you have to be understanding of one another, and that's where the comradeship and the sportsmanship comes in too, because everybody's trying to achieve the same thing here. Everybody just wants to get into the ring in as best condition as they possibly can, as ready for it as they possibly can. So you'll get people from different countries often sharing bags, just agreeing to make those allowances for everybody else so that you can all get what you need, do what you need before you enter competition. That's very much the ethos of amateur boxing from top to bottom, and it's no different at the very top than it is in your local club when you're watching novices for the first time. That's what it's all about.
91 kilograms, please, into the red corner from Azerbaijan, Asad Bakshishov.
So coming into the red corner for Azerbaijan, Asad Bakshishov.
And his opponent, please, into the blue corner from Russia, Razman Dadayev.
And representing Russia, just emerging through the archway now, and heading for the blue corner is Ramazan Dadayev. The winner of this one will find themselves up against Turkey's Emir Buyukdag in the final 16.
Judge 1, Slovakia, 2, Israel, 3, Bulgaria, 4, Ireland, and 5, Korea, and the referee of this bout from Mongolia, Van Dolbatrak.
Slovakia, Israel, Bulgaria, Ireland, Korea on duty for this one. Bout number 43. 24 fighters, as I mentioned, in operation in the men's heavyweight division. Physically, we've got a similar kind of story here as we had between Astanin and Adam Kavicius. In the red corner there, Bakshishov of Azerbaijan is the shorter fighter, the kind of squatter fighter. And Dadayev of Russia, taller, leaner.
Round 1.
Bakshishov just looking to try and stoop into a jab, and Dadayev in return is trying to get onto his jab as well. He looks like he's going to use those natural tools and advantages that he's got being a tall fighter. We've seen a few taller operators today who haven't really done that, but he's looking to try and get onto the jab early. Nice right uppercut timing Bakshishov well as Bakshishov came forward there, and Bakshishov has got to try and move his head on the way in. He's got to try and get inside that lead hand of Dadayev, who just punches down with the right hand that time. There's that jab again, just cannons off the forehead. Short right hand. And Bakshishov brimming with intent here, but again, just gets timed by that right uppercut. He's done that 2 or 3 times now, Dadayev. He's just fencing with that jab a bit. He's not really snapping it out. He's almost using it to measure that right hand at times because he knows that he's going to come forward, Bakshishov, and he's found him with that uppercut. He lost his balance completely there, Bakshishov, as he was trying to throw the right hand. And again, falls short with the right hand, and he's just picked off by DZIEV, who does exactly the same thing again there. That time just stepping to his right and just dabbing down with his right hand midway through round one. There's that uppercut. Nothing major, doesn't travel all that far, but he just lands it. It's accurate. And there it is once again. You see the head snap back, and Bakishov kind of walks into range. He does stoop over a little bit and doesn't throw. And when he does that, that's when DZIEV looks to throw that right uppercut, because there's just no reason not to do it. Good left hand there from DZIEV. He looks a good fighter. Lead left hand that time, and it's going to be a standing 8 for Bakishov, and he's got his work cut out here. Bakishov just coming forward. He commits, but doesn't really move that head on the way in. Again, just gets tickled with that right uppercut again there from DZIEV. He hasn't landed anything massive on Bakishov, but he's just landing on him, not quite at will, but almost at times. So the pattern of the fight has been set here from a very early stage. You've got one fighter coming forward without too much science behind it, and you've got another one in DZIEV who is more than happy to have an opponent coming towards him, because he knows that he will be able to pick out the gaps, and he did that effectively in that opening round. And some 10-8s in there for DZIEV, and that doesn't come as a great surprise. As I said, he didn't really beat Bakishov up. He didn't land any huge bombs, but he landed on him regularly. And you could see the head snap back, and clean punching. That's what we saw there. And he was dominant. And as I've been saying throughout the course of the session, the judges are interpreting dominance, and I make them absolutely right, the three who have given that 10-8.
Round 2.
Into the second round. Nice little right hand kind of over the top there from DZIEV, who looks to mix it up with the uppercut again there. Bakishov, to give him credit, is still coming forward here. He's not just going to try and cover up and get through these rounds. He gets caught with a left hand again there, and that is going to make this quite painful for him, I think, because every time he comes forward, he gets hit. Short right hand on the inside, followed by a left as he stepped away to his left. DZIEV has got some skills. He's got good technique. He's got good composure. This is not the most difficult job he's ever had in international boxing, and I don't mean any disrespect to his opponent when I say that, but Bakishov is quite basic for someone of DZIEV's ability. Looking for the right hand there. Bakishov throws the left, almost disappears through the ropes. DZIEV was no longer where he thought he was. Good left hand to the pit of the stomach there, just as Bakishov was kind of jumping forward too, so that will have doubled the impact almost. But he's having an okay round here, Bakishov, at least up until this point. He's kept things a little bit tight. A right hand from DZIEV, chopping down, right hand to the stomach again there. Dadev looking for the right uppercut that time. He just dropped the elbows on it. Bakishov, so it didn't really get through. So that's the end of round 2. And that was a better round for Bakishov. As I said, that was a better round. He didn't get landed on quite so much in round 2 as he did in round 1. He's lost the round, but as I said, this is difficult for him. This is hard work because in Ramazan Dadev, he's in with a really good operator. But he's toughing it out. A couple of judges going 10-8 there. I think that's maybe a little bit harsh on Bakishov, but no great argument from me.
Вытаскивай его, он устал, хоп, летит, оттянулся, бум, вот четкие удары нужно, понял? Не надо ввязаться, вот, бить.
Seconds out, please.
Все четко, понял? Давай, выдерни, хорошо, четко ударь.
Third round.
So, third and final round. Referee just saying there, I think that the protector has slipped a little bit too low, that waistband. They want to get that up a touch high, which is, that's always what a fighter wants to hit. You want to get that waistband as high as you possibly can, particularly when you're getting those lefts and rights into the pit of the solar plexus from Dadev, which is what has been happening to Azad Bakishov. But again, he's come out to have a go here at the start of the third round. Looking for a massive overhand right there, Bakishov. Didn't land it. And Dadev just up close there. What's impressive about him is just how loose he is, really. He's not looking to load up and throw huge punches all the time. It's very much an economy of effort, really. A lot of the shots don't move all that far, they don't travel all that far, but they're accurate. And he's got good variety. Bakishov again just launches himself forward, runs across the ring almost there, piling into an attempted left hook. And just sinking into the ropes a little bit there, Bakishov. He looks fairly spent here. And you cannot fault his effort. Absolutely not. 10 out of 10 for that. Clubbing left hand there from Dadev, and again just times the uppercut as Bakishov comes forward. The referee just saying to Dadev that he's not to push down on the back of Bakishov's head into the final minute. One more fight to come after this in this afternoon session of day 2 of the 2021 AIBA Youth World Men's and Women's Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision is the boxer from the blue corner.
Well, they both agreed just to take a little bit of a walk there. The referee saw that they were doing that. They then just had a word with Bakishov about keeping his head up, and he's absolutely all in here, Bakishov. Final 10 seconds, but still he throws, sets those feet and looks for that big right hand, just wondering whether maybe he can just land something huge in the final few seconds. It wasn't to be, but as I say, from the man in red there, Azad Bakishov of Azerbaijan, he's put absolutely everything into that. But in Ramazan Dadev, boxing in the blue for Russia, he was just up against somebody who was just a better fighter than him, quite simply. He's got a lot of skills there, Dadiev. He's got almost every shot in the book there, and with Bakashov just coming towards him, he was kind of tailor-made for him, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout, by unanimous decision, the boxer from the blue corner, Razman Dadayev, Russia.
So Dadiev gets it by unanimous decision, and you look at that Slovakian judges' scorecard there. Those are 3 consecutive 10-8s. So that's as dominant a display as I've seen in Ring B, actually, in terms of the scores. Every single judge there has given at least one 10-8. Maria Kavaklieva has given a couple, and Radislav Simon has given 10-8 in all 3 rounds. And he's a good fighter, Ramazan Dadiev, rather. That is absolutely clear. And he will be in with Emir Buyukdag of Turkey next time up. So we've just got one more in Ring B. In the heavyweight division, Sebastian Ovalio-Spina of Colombia, who we saw backstage, and he's up against another man we saw just hitting the pads pretty hard, I would have to say. And that's Syed Mohammed Syed Sadri of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Bout number 44, Ring B, 91 kilograms. Please into the red corner from Colombia, Sebastian Ovalio-Spina.
So here comes Sebastian Ovalio-Spina of Colombia. Boxing out of that red corner.
And his opponent, please into the blue corner, Syed Mohammad Seysadar Ardabili.
And Syed Mohammed Syed Sadri representing Iran. The winner of this one will go through to fight
From Iran, of
Petr
course.
Reznicek
And the judges,
of the Czech
points.
Republic.
1, Russia, 2, Jordan, 3, Latvia, 4, Uzbekistan, 5, Sri Lanka, and the referee of this bout from Armenia, Vardan Bagdasaryan.
So this is the final fight of the session in the heavyweight division. There are the judges: Russia, Jordan, Latvia, Uzbekistan, Sri Lanka. Vardan Bagdasaryan of Armenia, the 3rd man in the ring. So just a reminder again, in the blue corner, Syed Mohammed Syed Sadri of Iran, and in the red corner, Sebastian Ovalio-Spina of Colombia. Syed Sadri aiming a big right hand there, right at the start of the fight, and he looks to have a good bit of weight here on Ovalio-Spina. As I mentioned earlier on, it's a big catchment weight, anything over 81 kilos, and you're in the heavyweight division, so you get quite a lot of fighters who are kind of stuck between weights. They're too big for light heavyweight, not really big enough for heavyweight, and Avalia Spina looks to be absolutely in that category. And Seyed Sadri was just spoken to by the referee at the beginning there about hitting with the inside of the glove, not with the knuckle part of the glove, and he's having a word again there, the referee. He's thrown that kind of right hook almost, and it's landing with the inside of the glove. It's more of a slap than a clean punch. And as I've been mentioning, what the judges are always looking for are clean punches. And Seyed Sadri looks aggressive from the off here. I think the referee could do with just taking a step back here and letting them get on with it. A decent right hand that from Avalia Spina. Good jab. Solid jab from Seyed Sadri. He looks quite open at times. He's quite rugged. I think it's fair to say that. But that was decent technique to throw the jab. Cuffing with the left hand there, Seyed Sadri. Good upper body movement too, as he's looking to try and get on top of Avalia Spina. The referee warning him about pushing down on the back of the head of the Colombian. And the more I look at Avalia Spina, the more I think what a small heavyweight he is, because Seyed Sadri is really full at the weight. I'd imagine he's taken every single gram of those 91 kilos, and Avalia Spina is so much smaller than him, and he's just being ragdolled around the ring by him, really. He's got some technique, Avalia Spina. He can box, you can see that, but Seyed Sadri is just so much physically stronger than him. End of the first round. And Seyed Sadri aimed a lot of big shots in that round. It did get through with some, but the majority of them didn't hit the target. But you can see what that has taken out of Avalia Spina there. Two 10-8s there from Alexander Kamadov and Shiramala Dampu, and he was on the front foot and he was bossing it. And the dynamic of it, the aesthetic of it, if you like, was that he was very much in charge, you know, towards the end of the round. Avalia Spina had the mouth open. He was sucking the air in, and he was on the run at times during that round. But in terms of what was actually landed, there wasn't an enormous volume of clean punching from Seyed Sadri. He definitely won the round, no question about that, of course. But I wouldn't have given that a 10-8 myself.
Round 2.
So into the second. Said Mohammed Seyed Sadri of Iran in the blue, and Sebastian Avalia Spina of Colombia in the red. And Avalia Spina is at a serious, as I've said, serious physical disadvantage here. He's going to get a point taken if he's not careful, Seyed Sadri, because he's been warned about making contact with the inside of the glove 2-3 times now. There's nothing deliberate about it, really. It's just the way he delivers his punches. He doesn't throw too many straight punches. He did there, just stepping in, throwing the jab right hand, but most of the time he looks to step in, plant his feet and throw hooks up close. That's better. When he throws straight punches, he actually looks a better fighter. Nice left hand there from Seyed Sadri. Short left hand just catches Avalia Spina as he's moving forward. Little bit of a slip there from Avalia Spina. Wandered after a right hand a little bit. Got caught in his feet, just went out from underneath him. And he's taking a point now, the referee. I did say that he might, because he has told him a number of times about making contact with the palm of the glove, basically, rather than the knuckle part of the glove. Well, that was the knuckle part of the glove that just crashed onto the jaw of Avalia Spina there, no doubt about that. I don't think that point's really going to make any difference to this in the grand scheme of things, but it's just something that Said Sadri's got to be careful of going forward, because he's winning this fight and he's winning it comfortably enough, and he steps in with a... Well, I thought he stepped in with a standing 8 there, but he's just sent Avalia Spina over to the doctor. There's a bit of blood coming out of the end of the nose. That's something that referees can do. Just send the fighter over to the doctor to get them cleaned up a little bit. It allows the doctor just to have a quick look at them as well. And this is fairly one-sided. We know that. And Avalia Spina is... I was going to say he's hanging in there. He's doing a bit more than that, because he's showing some real courage here. He's always looking to try and get onto the front foot and throw. By no means is he just looking to cover up. And it would be understandable if he did. But just to revisit that point taken, Said Sadri will have to be careful about that going deeper into the tournament, because he will be in harder fights than this. And if he loses a point down the stretch in any of those other contests that he has in his next one, then it could be very, very costly. And so ends the second round. They're quite low, those stools. Those retractable stools as you pull them into the ring. So if you're a big old unit like the heavyweights and the super heavyweights, you see how low he seems to be there when he's got his knees up. So 10-9s all round there from the judges. And of course there's the point deduction as well, so that turns those 3 20-18s into 19-18s and turns those 2 scores that would have been 20-17 into 19-17. So it's not really hurt him, but as I said, it's something he's got to eradicate going forward in this competition.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So into the third and final round. Said Mohammed Said Sadri of Iran in the blue, well in control of this. Sebastian Valle Ospina of Colombia in the red, and blood starts coming out of the end of that nose straight away at the start of round 3. It'll be interesting to see if Said Sadri looks to try and force a stoppage here. And the Colombian again just sent to the doctor, who just has a quick squeeze of the bridge of that nose to see if that nose is broken. Blood from the end of the nose can always be a sign that the nose is broken, of course, but generally speaking, it comes in a greater volume with a greater flow than you've just seen it there. If there is a break, it can come absolutely gushing out. Good left hand there from Said Sadri. But still, Avalia Ospina, as I said, he's in there, he's in the mix, he's throwing back. He could just be covering up, looking to use his feet, use the outside of the ring, stay out of trouble, but he's not. He's not. He's staying in range and he's looking to throw. There is no doubting his fighting spirit, his courage here, because not only is he on the receiving end here, but he's boxing in a division which is just too big for him. I don't know whether it would be possible for him to get down to 81 kilos. I'm guessing not, but he's taking some big shots here, and the referee having a close look, but he's just not big enough for heavyweight. The referee again just having a word with Said Sadri about the same thing again, which is making contact with the inside of the glove. Really, when he throws those hooks, if he's going to avoid slapping, as you would describe it, then he needs to pick that elbow up. If he picks the elbow up, then he could solve that problem. And he's taking another point here. He's taking another point, and again, this is not going to affect him in this particular contest, but it will down the stretch if he gets another referee who is as hot as this one is in taking points for that particular thing. As I said, when he throws those hooks, he's got to pick that elbow up, and that will mitigate against that slapping motion. So that brings to an end this final fight of the afternoon session in Ring B. And Syed Sadri is going to win this, despite the 2 points that he was penalised for the same offence. It's not going to make any difference in the grand scheme of things because he won that round. Clearly, he may have won that round 10-8. So the point going is just going to narrow the margin, but it's still going to be a comfortable one for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of bout 44 by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Asay Hamat.
Well, Valia Spina looks slightly disappointed there. He would have known the scores at the end of each round, so I don't think he could really have expected to have got that. So it's a unanimous decision. He's got it with all 5 judges. We'll get a look at the actual scoring in just a second. Those 2 deducted points have made it tighter than it would have been. Those top 2 scores would have been 30-27. We'd have had a 30-26, a 30-25, and a 30-26. So a comfortable win for Syed Sadri, but as I said, he has got to cut that out. Not all referees will judge things exactly the same, but to lose 2 points for the same offence, well, that is careless. And he's got to do something about that, or it could cost him dearly at a later stage. So that completes the action in Ring B for this afternoon session, and we've seen some good action as well, particularly in that heavyweight division. So some really good contests and some good displays. And we will be back with the evening session in just under an hour's time.